So we are live right now.
Yes.
Okay, so we will start the session
We'll start.
after
Don't
5
listen.
minutes. Students, we will start this session exactly at 3:05. So till then, we are waiting to join another participants also.
प्रियंका. हेलो. हाँ बोलिए. Pragya ma'am.
Shall we start,
Yes.
sir?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay, sir. A very good afternoon to all participants. I am CMA Pragya from the Text Research Department. I welcome you all to our webinar today on the topic appeals before First Appellate Authority, key aspects and procedures. Our guest facilitator for the session is CMA Niranjan sir, who has generously agreed to share his expertise with us. CMA Niranjan sir is a graduate in Commerce and Law, a fellow member of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India. He's having experience in both corporate sector, autonomous bodies of Government of India, government departments in various capacities. To his credit, he has 34 years of rich experience in different areas, which includes financial, treasury management, project financing, control management, taxation, direct and indirect, internal audit, internal control, budgetary control, cost management, and cost control, in days and implementation of various policies in the organization. He was in position of Senior General Manager, Finance in Orissa Power Generation Corporation Limited. After retirement, he is in full-time practice as an advocate and tax consultant. Let us take advantage of this opportunity to grow and learn together. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon to everybody. It is a pleasure to share my experience with all of you. And as Pragya has told, after my retirement, I have taken the license from the Bar Council and doing the both the direct and indirect tax practice in the high courts and tribunal and other appellate authorities. Friends, actually, today the topic which we are also keeping for more period, 2.5 an hour, and a similar topic also we are keeping tomorrow for the preparatory for GSTAT appearing before GSTAT, the key aspect and procedures. You may be aware that the both topics, few of the provisions are very common related, which I will cover today here. I may not cover tomorrow also because we want to cover more of the topics and particularly from the practical issue we will discuss. I was involved in the both direct and indirect taxes in my service period in different capacities. In addition to last 2019 onwards, I am doing the practice appearing before the High Court and tribunal, start and other affiliated authorities. Friends, today topic which we are going to discuss the appeal before the first affiliated authority and the key aspects, procedures, and the issue actually what is involved in the process of starting from the filing of the appeal and during the appearance appeal proceedings, issue of the orders. Lot of issues are there which I want to share, and one of my request is the questions and answer instantly you can go through, so you can keep it also, you can put it, and every interval that you take after 45 minutes I will check up any questions are there, I can answer instantly. And I am just adding the topics that actually the PPT which is prepared covering most of the aspects, but practically entire PPT, the point, many of the important points I will discuss, but the PPT will be shared, which you can read it also, which can give a lot of input to all of you. And particularly I am talking tomorrow session which we kept, it is particularly you might be very much aware that 24th April 2025 the GSTAT rules has been notified, and GSTAT rules contains the procedures, how the GSTAT proceedings will be carried on, and what is your role as a taxpayer or the tax authorized representative. Either you appeared or you support to the authorized representative, and a lot of points are there which actually one has to understand in addition to the provisions which are provided under the GST law and particularly both act and rules. In addition to that, and other notifications whatever has been issued under the GST law. In addition to that, this rule particularly is very important. Sorry, this rule, the start rule is very important for all of us to understand, and different aspects are there that I will cover. And you might have seen also actually GSTAT portal perhaps in under the maintenance perhaps, because I was trying yesterday, I could not get properly, but you might have seen a online procedure to be followed for registration filing of the appeal also is available in the portal. That has also been given in the portal very clearly. It is given how to proceed for the online filing, so that you can also see, or I will if possible tomorrow also some aspect I will cover. So with this background, I am just starting with the today topic, that is appeal before the first appellate authority and the key aspects. Friends, just I wanted to tell you that the background and how the appeal has been arises. Prior to that, you might be knowing that when the GST Act was rolled out in 2017, July 1st July, so the registration actually around 64 lakhs people have the registration, and now it is 1.51 crores, out of which around 14 lakhs perhaps composition scheme, and balance are the normal regular taxpayers who are registered. And as per the distribution system, the with a certain limit of 1.5 crores that time, the people have registered with the state authorities, and beyond that they are registered with the central authorities. So two dual function has been taken off. That means the assessee, those who have registered with the state authorities, so they are or the union territory authorities, so they are all activities starting from the compliances, filing of the returns, scrutiny, assessment, reassessment, or adjudication, appeal, everything will be taken over by the mostly the joint commissioner and the commissioner, sorry, joint commissioner, additional commissioner appeal. There is no post of a commissioner appeal in the state or union territory too, as I understand. And the persons, those who have registered with the central, and similarly they are all the compliances will be looked by the central, and any proceeding will be taken including the scrutiny, audit, and every adjudication, assessment, adjudication, and appeal also, and to be taken off. And in central, the appellate authorities are additional commissioner appeals and commissioner appeals, depending upon the order passed below the officers, proper officers will be adjudicated, sorry, appeal has to be filed. So in case of additional commissioner, below the rank of joint commissioner and superintendents and or assistant commissioner or deputy commissioner, so in that case the central appeal will be lie with the joint commissioner appeal. And similarly, the order passed by the additional commissioner or the joint commissioner, the additional commissioner, then it will lie to the your commissioner appeal. But in case of states, as I remember, number of joint commissioner and additional commissioners are in respect of many of the divisions in the state, more than two also. Small depending upon the state. So in comparison to the pattern of dealing of appeal in the state and center are completely different. One of the point I wanted to tell you that even if that there is a cross empowerment, that means the central GST authorities can also go for the different proceedings. Particularly, I am talking about the investigation. So in the center, two investigation teams are there. One is investigation, one is DGGI, Director General of Goods and Service Tax. So they are also inspecting, going for. So they have the power to go for the audit, go for the any audit. One circular recently has come. One of the High Court has given that the central should not go for the audit of the state, but generally it is happening that they can also scrutinize, they can also find and inspect, they can the DGI can also issue the notices, so that is there. And similarly, the state can also do the scrutiny, etc., or audit of the center, investigation of the central registered persons. But the circular which has been issued by the CBIC, as well as per the provision, even also many of the directions of the High Court and Supreme Court, that there should not be common investigation which already undertaken by the other state or union. So once it is stated, the other one should not go for that investigation. They can go in other than that. So that has to be taken. But we found that many cases, in a common matter, in a particular issue, the state is also going for the investigation, central is going for the investigation. So this is the background I have given. So generally what happens, we have to make a lot of compliances. One is registration, filing of return, payment of tax, and the department will go for the verification, making the scrutiny of the returns. Anti-evasion proceedings can be taken over by the state and the center. As I told you, in case of a center, the two anti-evasion units are there, anti-evasion or investigation units in addition to DGI, they are also functioning. and non-compliances of any of the provisions will, and after the department taken up it, so that leads to ultimately the tax demand, interest, penalty, fee, and other liabilities such as prosecution, etc. And these demands, which if you have agreed, you pay it. If you have not agreed, then you have four options are available. Either you have to go for the appeal, or you can go for the review, or you can go for the revision, or you can go for the rectification. Rectification generally taken place when the demand raised order has been issued, and in that order, if there is a mistake, then apparent from the record, you can go for the rectification. So four points you can contest. And now very important point is where the generally the dispute arises. So what are the cause of dispute? You just see this table. This is the cause of dispute. This cause of dispute I categorized in three categories. One is your self-assessment, and subsequently what you made a self-assessment is not correct. Provisional assessment has been taken off. Scrutiny of a return has been taken off. Assessment of non-filers, assessment of unregistered persons, summary assessment in certain cases when the department could not, sorry, the assessee could not cooperate. So that means ultimately all these sections which dealt with the 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, it ends with the one assessment order, and that assessment order is coupled with the your tax and interest and penalty. In addition to that, there is a audit also conducted by the department. A number of wings are there, divisions are there. As already I told you, state is having their state or separate audit, and central is having their separate audit. They're supposed to do only their registered persons. But as I told, in few cases we found they also making a cross audit or cross reference to the central persons going to state registered person, state registered person is going to central registered person. So audit team is regularly conducting it. You know that ADT 01 they will issue audit memo first, they will issue. You have to reply. The final ADT 02 form will be issued along with the final reply. Then if you have not agreed with the final reply, then or if you submitted the reply which is not satisfied by the department, they will go for the adjudication, and so they can go for the show cause notice, and again you have to reply to the show cause notice, then you have to lead to the adjudication process. So these show cause notices can be issued in three cases also: first case also, second case also, third case already I told you there's a inspection, search and a seizure, and the inspection of goods which are in the movement, waybill, those who are not carrying the waybill along with the invoices, and there is a power to arrest and a power to summon. And the one very important point you can keep in view that initially what happens, these the department people issued summons to even also high level officers, including the directors, managing director, chairman, but there is a circular has been issued which has been very clearly advised that do not do that. You can only issue the summons if required only to the persons those who are involved in the process. So these are the cases. So all the three cases leads to two sections, section 73 and 74. So when there is a tax demand is arises because of the tax short paid, not paid, refund claimed, or we can say ITC wrongly availed and utilized, availed or utilized, both availed and utilized, availed or utilized. And but one very important point is with intent to evade the tax. So if there is a misstatement, fraud, etc., then it will be covered under section 74 with a time limit to go for the adjudication under section 74 with a maximum 5 years the order should be issued, and the notice should be given within 32 months. And similarly in case of 73 it is 3 years, the notice should be issued 2 years and 9 months, and accordingly the proceeding will be taken. You might be aware about that the amendment provision has been made. A new section was introduced, section 74, both fraud and non-fraud cases. It became the department can go on going for the proceeding, and all the cases it is 5 years. So with this, then what will happen? These are the sections when the demand will be raised, the which demand against which if you are not satisfied, not acceptable to, you will go for the appeal. And the forum is you have to go to the first appeal. As I already told you, in case of state it is the additional commissioner appeal, joint commissioner appeal, or in case of a center it is the additional commissioner appeal and commissioner appeal. So these are the orders. Just to see these are sections, section 52, section 63, section 64 already I intimated given. So these are the list I have given where these are the appealable orders. So against that only you can go for the appeal. So appeal is nothing but an allegation to be made that whatever the demand has been made, it is not as per the in compliance to the GST law. So that's why I am going to the higher forum, putting my grievance in the form of an appeal. And in this case, you see section 73, 74 is there. Section 75 determination of tax that we correctly not made. Section 76 is the tax collected but not deposited. Section 122 is the penalty for offence. Section 123 is the penalty for failure to furnish information. Section 124 is the finance for failure. That means if section 125 general penalty. Actually, most of the cases will be you will find 122. Section 73, 74, 74 with 122 or 74 with 125 in many cases also raised. And one section 129 is the detention, seizure, or section 130 is the confiscation of goods. So any goods which are during inspection found that it is not carrying the way bill, the owner is not available, penalty could not be recovered. Government the next step is to go for the confiscation. So against these orders are known as the appealable orders. So against which you can go for the appeal. And these are the list I have given. The PPT which will be shared. You can go one by one and see. Friends, these are the orders which are not appealable orders. No appeal shall be lie against this order. One is you cannot demand that you are the adjudicating authority in Calcutta, let circle 1 or the division 1. You cannot say that it will be transferred to Bihar or it will be transferred to Calcutta zone 2. You cannot do that. And an order pertaining to the seizure or retention of books of accounts, register and other documents against which no appeal is required to be filed, an order sanctioning prosecution under the act, an order passed under section 80 payment of a tax in installments. In many cases we request for installment when the financial position is not correct good, so you can go, and against that you cannot go for the appeal. If the department denied or made a lesser installment, you cannot go for that. And in addition to that, the very important point you keep in mind, no tax cases will be taken place, or you cannot put any appeal other than the appellated forum which has been prescribed. That means you appeal to the High Court, so appeal to the Supreme Court. So except that you cannot go to any other court or any other place for the that's why there is a bar on jurisdiction of a civil courts. CGST Act under that is the section 160C. So the appellated forum wise, if you go to the first appellated, against that you have to go to the second appellated, against that you have to go to the High Court, against that you have to go to the Supreme Court. In between any other court which especially cannot be constituted to undertake the cases of the case which arises in the GST Act. So that is the very important point which you have to see. Friends, these are the just I'm giving for purpose of your knowledge. Actually, these are very important. You are, as a tax consultant, as a taxpayer, as a tax employee of any company, or as an advocate or authority representative, we should be very much familiar with the forms actually. So these are the forms, these are the procedures has been laid down, and 3-4 slides are there. Practically, if you see our time, because I want to cover most of the provisions or most of the aspects within this short period, and so that at least you can capture it while you are reading the PPT, just to see, because these are there is a provisional assessment, so application has to be made SMT 01, SMT 02, the notice will be sent. So these are the prescribed forms has been prescribed under the GST rules, and that has to be followed, that has to be utilized, or the order demand has to be issued in that form only. Without that it cannot be issued. If it is issued, then it is not a correct one. So that's why just to go through it. Assessment notice will be reply 30 days is the time, so SMT 11 will be there. Similarly, assessment notice reply acceptable, ASM 12, assessment order will be passed ASMT 13. So these are the forms generally used for your example. Demand has been raised, any demand under any section. Just one point I am telling, that is a order, that is a demand. So order means the circumstances under which the assessee or the taxpayer is liable to pay tax because of non-compliances. That is the order that contains the brief about the taxpayer and the details proceedings which has been undertaken and the allegations made during the period of scrutiny or audit, etc. So notice issue, your reply, then the demand has been considered, dropped, or which demand not considered or entirely not considered, that will be contained in your order. But the demand has to be issued only in the DRC 07. You might have seen in the income tax, you all are familiar. So in the backside of the in income tax order, there is a demand notice has been issued also, one section 156, where the demand has been raised. If any order has been issued without DRC 07 or any demand notice, then that order is not a correct order. So when you are let any order has been passed and you are going for rectification, so that rectification order will be in the form of a DRC 08. So against which you will go for the appeal. So your appeal will lie against DRC 07 or DRC 08. So online filing will be given, it is DRC 07, DRC 08. First part of the kind information, just I am telling, central to my understanding, when they are making the rectification, DRC 08 they are not issuing and not uploading actually. Actually, when the assessment also taken place, let to take it, there should be a demand. That initial demand was 15 lakhs, let to take it, and during the appeal also the demand has reduced. So demand reduced means the balance demand should be available in the supportings. So DRC 08 rectification demand, they are not uploading. Many cases we found they are not uploading. So when you are going for filing the appeal, so you are bound to go for filing the appeal making a reference to the DRC 07, which is not correct, because in the portal DRC 07 is originally uploaded and you are going for rectification. DRC 08 has been issued, so DRC 8 should be available against which you have to go for filing the appeal, but that is not finding place in many of the particularly I am talking center state. Since I belongs to the Odisha, I think in Odisha it very clearly they are uploading it. But in the center I found, but center of the late they have undertaken many of the activities, and I think they many areas they have already improved and updated many areas. But the orders which has been issued earlier, that case may be some difficulty in the uploading it. Friends, these are the forms. Just see many forms I have given here. These are the forms and the form of notices, form of orders. So that has to be followed, so that the proceeding is from the department side will be treated as a valid proceeding. So there is a section, there is a type of a notice, there is a description for what purpose, and a reference form to be used. So if the reference form is not used, then the proceeding can become a null and void. Order is not only along with the order, everything should be in the proper format or proper form. So these are the different types of forms are there, and from the PPT you can go through it and read it also. Not only going through it, you have to go through deeply read, otherwise you may not in a position to plead the deficiency in the order. Because when I am going to prepare the statement of facts, grounds of appeal, I should be very much aware that where the lacuna is there. Let I am giving one example. The audit for the 2023-24, 2022-23 has been conducted. ADT 01 has been issued, preliminary memo has been issued. We replied. Then the final audit memo they have issued, ADT 02, and we also replied. Then show cause note has been issued. Let you take. Next year, the ADT 01 has been issued. Next year, I am talking to, if first year is the 2022-23, then next year is the 23-24. The audit team came and they have a same procedure they followed. ADT 02 up to ADT 02 has been completed. But show cause notice has been issued along with the 2022, 23, 23, 24 is not correct actually. So one can challenge it also. And as such, the all the proceedings should be your wise. Now, department previously taking the proceedings for the more than 1 year at a time, 4 years, 3 years combinedly. But because of the court has given the direction many decisions, so here it is not possible because the limitation period for the taking the proceeding under section 73, 74 has to be taken within the period of 3 years, 5 years. And as per the new provision, it will be 74A, it should be maximum 5 years. So that's why it is year wise. So the cases where the show cause notice has been issued for 4 years, and that is show cause notice now, sorry, 4 years at a time. So while they are passing the adjudication order making 4 DRC 07, one order but 4 DRC 07. So 4 DRC 07 demand notice means you have to go for the 4 appeals. So slowly they are doing it, but that is very much because you have to take a ground on that. So first, as a tax practitioner, as an authority representative, you should be very much acquainted with not all the relevant provisions along with the required forms. So this is my suggestion on this particular point. So item wise, many of the items I am not discussing, but you can also go through it. And then the question will come the appeal. When I'm going for the appeal, these are the four structures generally is there. Prescribed form is there. APL 01 is used in case of first appellated authority filing appeal, and APL 05 is to be issued for the tribunal. Tribunal we are not going to discuss. So these are the statement of facts, grounds of appeal, and your prayer verification has to be given, but we will discuss separately subsequently. And adjudicating authority is not the appellated authority. These are the relevant sections. You should be very much aware about the sections. Appeal to appellated authority, power of the revisionary authority, constitution of appellate tribunal, bench thereof. So from 107, 108, 9 onwards, you'll see these are contains the different provisions related to the appeal. So one has to, because when we are going to prepare the statement of facts, when we are prepared to refer to the grounds of appeal, additional grounds of appeal, additional evidence, and pleading yourself, and in the written statements, we should be very much aware about the provisions of law, the rules, notifications, as well as the relevant sections under which you are there. I am the authorized person under section 116. So like you can also a cost accountant, a chartered accountant, officer in the rank of assistant commissioner above prescribed year of service. So they can also become the authority representative. So that's why you should be very much aware about these facts. It starts from the first appellated authority, ends with the Supreme Court. These are the orders to be issued and the relevant provisions. These are relevant provisions related to the appeal. So you can go through it, and these are relevant rules to the appeal, because already rule will prescribe different forms, rule will prescribe the procedures. So that's why the G-start rule has been framed. So G-start rule may be new for you, because many of you may not be appearing before the C-start. You see, it is similar to the C-start, Central Excise Customs and Service Tax Appellated Tribunal. It is similar to that, with some changes compared to the GST law. But the very detailed procedure is there, which we can discuss tomorrow also. And these are the rules has to be followed. These are the rules. These are the forms. Again, I'm telling. APL 01 is the appeal to appellated authority. APL 02 is the acknowledgement of submission of appeal. Once you submit the appeal online, so one acknowledgement would be issued. That is a provisional acknowledgement. APL 03 is the application to the appellated authority under section 107, subsection 2. Then APL 04 is the summary order. That is the order which has been issued. Then the DRC 07 will be issued. APL 05 appeal to the appellate authority, and APL 06 is the cross objection. So we will discuss what is the cross objection, that we will discuss after some time. So APL 07, APL 08 is used for the High Court filing the appeal against the order of the tribunal. So these are the forms generally issued, and APL 01 and 03 are the withdrawal forms. Actually, you file the appeal, subsequently you may go for the withdrawal. That's why this form has to be used. So most of the things you will find GST law, the forms has been used, different types of forms has been used in almost all proceedings, all sections, starting from the scrutiny, from department side, from the assessee side also. Let you take, you are making a reply to the so-called DRC 06 you are using. So these are that means it should be in your tongue that which form is used for what purpose. Very difficult, but in the due course of reading it, you can also remember, or dealing with it, you can remember. That is very much important for you for the purpose. These are the provisions are there. Just you see, and this is the actually first appellate authority under 107 and rule 108, 109, 112, and time period is 3 months and condonation 1 month. That appeal has to be filed from the date of communication of the order. Friends, very important point just is the communication has been made. After some time we will discuss, but the communication means you received the order. So in the most of the cases I found, particularly I am talking about state and center, they are uploading, but many center particularly I am talking, they are not uploading. They are giving in the emails and they are giving in the physical forms. Many cases people are not getting the orders also, orders, notices, etc., which should be. And I think they have now improved it, made it mandatory. Many cases, many of the sectors to issue become mandatory. And similarly appeal to tribunal in the 112 CGST Act, which is dealt with, and rule 110, 111, 112, and time period is 3 months, condonation period is 3 months. Condonation, just I wanted to tell you, this is very disputed area. If you go to the sestat, we will discuss tribunal tomorrow, we will discuss, and particularly I am talking about the appellate authority, first appellate authority. The time period is 3 months. Small traders, small dealers, many of the dealers those are coming to us, we found that the 3 years already elapsed. Yesterday one person came, 9 months back the order was uploaded. When the bank attachment has been taken place, then he came to know it. But they are not verifying the portal, and state generally sending it through the portal, never sending it through the mail, or never sending it through the physical. Center is sending through the mails, and also uploading in the portal, uploading, sending in the mails, when uploading not sending in the mails, but sometimes also sending the in the uploading as well as giving physically also. I just am telling, we found many of the show cause notice has been issued, many of the order has been issued voluminous, so in that case it may not be possible to upload. So that case they are also sending through physically. So these are the sections are there. So particularly one thing I will tell, limitation period 3 months is very relevant, and the commission of appeal do not have the power for more than 3 months. So it is, sorry, more than 1 month. So that means if sufficient ground will be given. And one point I just see, first point is, if while you are going for filing the appeal, you should be very clear that the I am filing the appeal within the time period. If not filing, delaying, then I have to justify day wise. Supreme Court in many of the decisions has directed that condonation of delay has to be undertaken based upon the justification provided day wise. Mark the word day wise. You have to justify why one day delayed, and the power is only 1 month. But that is again dispute has been raised. S. Mukherjee and Sons, as I remember, Calcutta High Court has given a decision that when the Commission of Appeal has not admitted the appeal because it was filed beyond the 3 months, and beyond one month of condonation period, that means beyond 4 months, then the Commission of Appeal rejected it, not admitted, and the party went to the Calcutta High Court, and Calcutta High Court has given that the GST law, the limitation period where the Limitation Act has not been excluded. So if not excluded, so the condonation delay has to be taken up by the Commission of Appeal as per the Limitation Act. As I may understand, Limitation Act perhaps 3 years. And then it went to the Supreme Court. Many of the controversial decisions are now coming, and that is debatable. So, so that's a and I also found, particularly I'm talking when many of the high courts people are appearing. The if you are going for a writ, let you take any demand has come, you are going for a writ, the department is not allowing. Sorry, the court is not allowing that you are coming beyond 3 months. You pay tax, a substantial tax, not 10%, more than 10%, maybe 40%, 30%, 50%. Many courts are doing that. So we should be adhered to the 3 months and one month for the purpose. Then the question will come communication. Already I told you the communication should bear the dean. Actually, now it is clarified. One important point just you keep in the recently it has been clarified that the even if DIN number is not that document identification number is document identification must to be incorporated while issuing any notices, demands, etc. correspondence from the department. If it is not there, then it is not a valid one. So you can that cannot be demand cannot be sustained. But now it has been clarified recently. Actually, I have kept somewhere that circular recently. I am talking that in case the reference number is given, then it is also valid order, and accordingly you can go for the higher forum. So that you have to say. So communication should be in the email. First it is should be uploaded in the portal. Second it is the email. Third it can be pasted. Let you take in case of ACC whose registration is already cancelled. How it will be uploaded? It cannot be uploaded. So it has to be made a email or it has to be go to the registered post or the by post, or you can be affixed in the premises where the registration address is available. So these are the generally to be taken, and before going forward you have to also see the monetary limit by which you can go. So these are the cases. Suppose huge demand, the person is not available, absconded, then the newspaper publication can also be taken place. These are the modes generally will be taken. After that is not available, then the not service in the above manner by affixing to a particularly the place of business and usual place of business, you can it will be affixed and kept there. So these are the cases. So this is the appellated forum. Already I told you one is you can go to the first appellated authority. Second, we are not discussing, so I am not going to discuss. So we are going to discuss against all the these orders. So we have to go to the appellated authority. So now question is how to go for the appellated, how to file the appeal. Now first is the person agreed. So in the when the initial orders what I explained to you, you are the agreed person. Department is not agreed person. So we have to go 3 months time already I told you. A prescribed form appeal 01 is there. I will just show you in the last how to file the appeal 01. That also I will show you. And the very important point is the moment you filed the appeal 01, it should be within 3 months. And after that within 7 days you have to submit a physical copy, okay, and with all the annexes. So appeal 01 is a form you have to fill up, but it will be it is supported with the statement facts, grounds of appeal, and evidence documents, and pre-deposit automatically incorporated in the appeal 01. While you are filing, it will be incorporated. And whatever you submitted uploaded in the GSTN portal, because GSTN portal some only appeal 01 at the time of uploading, just to remember, it will be only take you 4 files and maximum is 20 MB, 5 MB into 4, so 20 MB. And many demand where the huge demands are there, the it is not possible to submit the copies also. Just I am telling, I was dealing just a few days before one of the appeal where 389 pages is the part of the show cause notice. Tell me, 389 is the show cause notice and demand order is around 80 pages. And in addition to the evidence, documents, ledger copies, bills, whatever is there, I am going for the appeal. Is it possible to upload? So what we are doing, maximum is 20 MB. It will reduce, compress it, it will be reduced, but it will be non-visible, but the visibility will be reduced. So that's a the important point. Statement facts, grounds of appeal you are keeping. Evidence documents we are attaching to the physical copy. So anyhow physical copy is a must, whether it is volume or not volume, but it has to be submitted. And the very important point is the 7 days criteria should be there. The day on which you filed, then within 7 days you have to submit the appeal 01 copy along with all the appeal documents which are uploaded or could not uploaded, but you can carry it. And again, if you submit it beyond 7 days, then what will happen? The beyond 7 days date will be treated as your appeal filing date, and if it is more than 3 months, then condonation you have to apply. So that is the very let I filed the appeal today. It is the 75th day, and I could not submit the APL 01 physically, and later after 2 months I am submitting. So what will happen? 75 days plus 2 months is more than 4 months. So in that case, what will happen? Then it is beyond 1 month condonation period. So that's why you should be very careful that APL 01 along with all the annexures should be submitted within the due date. And again I am talking, the moment you submit the APL 01 uploading and physical copy, the department will accept it by issuing the APL 02. If they have not issued, then you will found that your appeal has not been accepted. So acceptance of appeal is very important. Okay, and I think the center was facility was not issuing the APL 02. Now they are regularizing everything. So because the portal has been developed subsequently, so now pending whatever provisional acknowledgement you received in the uploading of the APL 01, then in that provisional acknowledgement now they are going for referring to the APL 02. So APL 02 is the acceptance of the appeal. So that is the to be filed. So once is the appeal filed, but the basic requirement is you have to find out what is the admitted tax. So when there is a tax demand, when there is a interest demand, and there is a penalty, when there is a fee demand, prosecution you may not accept it. So it is always a non-acceptable. But many cases you accepted the tax demand, you accepted the interest, you accepted the fee, partially you accepted the other amount. Let you take penalty also. You thought it is proper to pay the penalty. If you fully paid, then there is no question of going for the appeal. If you partially paid, admitted, then you admitted amount plus 10% of the balance tax, you have to go for the pre-deposit. So pre-deposit you can make out of your cash ledger or out of your credit ledger. So that is the very important. Previously there is a dispute that credit ledger cannot be utilized, but if you see the pre-GST law, credit ledger, Senbhad credit can be utilized for payment of pre-deposit. So subsequently, number of courts has given the decision. Now it will become very clear. The provision has been amended that the you can also utilize the credit ledger for making the payment of the pre-deposit. So I have to make the payment of pre-deposit equal to 10% of the tax amount, demand amount, remaining amount. If I admitted, then the remain. If I have 20 lakhs demand, 5 lakhs I admitted, then 10% of 15 lakhs I have to give plus 5 lakhs I have to give. And you see what happens in case 25% in case of order under section 129(3), that is in case of such seizure. That means when the vehicle is not carrying the movement of goods, so where the confiscation generally taken place if you are non-compliance. So in that case, there is a higher rate of tax is there, and again it is subject to the maximum tax, the 25 crores rupees under each act. And as I understand, it has they reduced to 20 crores. You please check up the any latest notification where 20 crores has been reduced. Just check up. I am not remembering. Just you can check up it also. And a very important point is, remember, once you deposited, make the pre-deposit, so automatically your stay will be taken place. So if he let you take, I have not admitted in the amount. My tax demand is 20 lakhs. My interest is 20 lakhs. Let 100% under section 74. And my penalty is 100% of 20 lakhs. But interest will be calculated. Interest is a compensatory nature. It is mandatory actually. Even Honorable Supreme Court of the opinion, wherever tax liability is there, then interest has to be paid. It is a compensatory. It cannot be waived unless unless your demand has reduced. So according to the interest can be reduced. So in that case, if out of 20 lakhs I have not admitted any amount, so what I have to pay? Let 10% of the 20 lakhs, that is 2 lakhs I have to deposit. No interest, no penalty is required to be deposited. So that will be made prior to APL 01 filing. So we will see those who are dealing, I think they are very much aware about this. So that is there is no issue at all. So that after that, your appeal document will be verified by the department, the commissionerate appeals or additional commissionerate appeals, and automatically the balance will be stayed, and the opportunity of being heard, a notice has to be issued to you, proper opportunity to be given. But the issue is many cases people are not appearing, and maximum three hearings has to be taken place, not more than three. That is restricting it. Even no circumstances. I am dealing with many cases from the last 5 years. A single case they have not given more than three. They are allowing you to submit additional submissions, but the personal hearing they are not exceeding. So one of the very important point you keep in mind, don't wait for the second notice. If you are aware about the first notice, immediately go for the submission, go for personal hearing, and that personal hearing can take place by both physical mode or by the video conferencing. Though department does not have that facility, but by they are using the Google Meet etc. also completing it. That is also to some extent okay. But many cases are there where physical hearing can be taken place. You can go for the physical hearing because you can explain the facts in detail along with the supporting documents, which may not be possible in case of video conferencing. So that is always we should ensure that. And many cases we found that the authorities suppose internet connection, the place where you are sitting, the time availability slot given. So these are some issues are there, but if it will be very well managed by the department, then everybody can incline to attend it, particularly for the convenience of everybody. Time can be saved. But many cases it has the advantage to go for the physical appearance. And so this is there. Then the question is acknowledgement has to be issued. Then the appellate authority can also allow add include. So during the physical hearing, you can go for the add the any ground you have taken. So ground means the allegations, which is the demand which has been raised, you are countering it. So in that case, I will give some hints, some of the facts while we are discussing about the grounds of appeal. But you can go for additional. That's why a sentence has been given when you are filing the appeal 01 along with all the documents, statement facts, grounds of appeal, and other points that you take. You are writing there. The appellant has the right to submit any additional ground or withdraw any ground at the time of hearing, etc. And a personal hearing always you can request. So always that should be there. And the appellate authority, as far as possible, within 1 year has to dispose of the appeal. But practically, it is not possible. Many cases we found it they are not in a position to dispose. But a provision talks about that as far as possible, as far as possible. So it is not possible in many cases. The appellate authority shall not remanded the back. So this is one of the point to remember. Remanded back means see, the appellate authority take a decision. He has to take a final decision. He cannot say that okay, I am returning back. The authority who passed the order may revisit it. He cannot do that. And the adjudication authority shall also issue a summary of the order in the GST Appeal 04, particularly sorry the appellated authority. So once an order has been passed, so it will be in the form of Appeal 04. So already I told you. So when the appellated authority passing the order, it is in the Appeal 04 along with the DRC 07. So DRC sorry along with the demand confirmation, and this demand confirmation is already in the DRC 07. So that means the DRC 07 will be issued when the demand has been raised. And one of the very practical point I am talking, that I am your adjudicating authority. You replied to the so cause notice. I adjudicated by giving the personal hearing to you, and you appeared, submitted the documents, and the demand was let to take 100 lakhs initially, plus penalty plus interest. I convinced, so I reduced to 70 lakhs, and 30 lakhs is reduced. So the demand now come to the 70 lakhs. So now question is the DRC 07 should be at the time of adjudication. Sorry, the show cause has been issued with 100 lakhs. In the adjudication, it is reduced to the 30, reduced by 30 lakhs. So the remaining demand is 70 lakhs. So the DRC 07 is related to the 70 lakhs. Then you have gone to the appeal. So when you have gone to the appeal, let appellated authority reduce another 20 lakhs. It will become 50 lakhs. So what will happen? The moment you will find the demand is 70 lakhs, that is the order against which you are going for the appeal. That is the DRC 7 has been issued. It is shown in the portal, GSTN portal, and it is your liability, ledger. So when you made the 10% deposit, it automatically reduce from there, and it will show that this is the CGST, state GST, IGST, and the compensation cess, and fee. This is interest, etc. And this much amount has reduced. So automatically 10%, and you paid it, so 10% will be reduced, whatever you paid, and the balance will be shown. But one of the very important issues is there, if the appellate authority is reducing, then we never found that they are making it a revision. So they should reduce it. So that is the one of the difficulty now, particularly I am talking about in many of the GST departments. And I have the experience that DSC 07 also 2-3 times uploaded, which is very harsh to the assessee, and they are not in a position to delete it also. You should be very careful. Always you not only see the DSC 07, you see your liability ledger, whether the DRC 07 is appearing in once or it is appearing more than once. So your outstanding demand, just you check up it. And because I found in one case, the DRC 07 twice has been uploaded. It is around 19 crores demand, 88.5 crores demand, and the dash 07 has been uploaded, and subsequently another office also uploaded dash 07. Two times dash 07 has been uploaded with two numbers. Appeal is carrying on in one number, and we have represented, but they are not in a position to delete. They are telling we are not in a position to delete it. The problem is your auditor will see it, and definitely contingent liability, these issues are there. So you always periodically you verify your outstanding ledger or the liability ledger to see how much demand already continuing. Then the question will come, the appellate authority on his own motion or the request from the Commissioner of State Tax or the Commissioner of Union Territory Tax, call for and examine the records and proceedings. So before the disposal of the appeal, he will verify all the documents, etc. If required also, they can also refix the another hearing also, they can call further documents also. And generally, as a good as a principle of natural justice, they should give a lot of opportunity, which may not be happening actually practically. I am talking particularly in many of the department cases, but that they have the authority, they can call. One has to convince before passing the order, which is not possible at present, or not done in many cases. And the assessee, sorry, the appellate authority should satisfy themselves that whatever submission I made, evidence given, and that is correct. So that should be there. And he direct any officer subordinate to him to apply to the appellate authority. Another very important point is there, when the adjudication order has been passed, so the agreed party generally may be the department, may be the assessee. So when the show cause notice has been issued, it is issued to the taxpayer. And when the adjudication taken place by the adjudicating authority, or the demand has been raised, and the demand has been reduced by the adjudicating authority, so in that case department can file the appeal for the reduction amount, and you can go for the appeal for the balance amount. Commissioner can hear both the appeals. So in that case, what will happen, under the section 107 203, the any subordinate, the department can direct any of the subordinate, authorize any of the subordinate to submit an appeal, and in that appeal the period is 6 months. So generally department will go for filing the appeal within the 6 months, and in our case it is 3 months, taxpayer case it is 3 months. So what will happen, the generally both the appeal has been taken place by the commissioner while disposing it, one cannot be possible. Okay, so that has to be seen. Then when the appellate authority has the power, he can confirm the order, confirm the demand, he can modify the demand, or he can annul the demand, etc. And if the appellate authority can also increase the rigors of the order appealed. Sometimes he can has the power to increase also, but when there is a increase in demand, or increase in prosecution time, or increase in interest on penalty, so in that, let 73 has been issued, he can make it 74, or 74 has been issued, he can make 73. So 74 100% penalty, 73 10% penalty. So many cases, if a reduction is there, so definitely the opposite party also to be given opportunity if the department went to the appeal. And if he, let you take a taxpayer case, there is a increase in demand, so or any point there is a disagree, so sufficient opportunity has to be provided to the appellant so that he can increase the tax demand if there is a mistake or if he is not agreeing to the orders of the adjudicating authority. So that process has to be followed. They have the power to enhance the demand. They have power to adjudicate the demand. Adjudicate demand means he can call for the information and accordingly you can act. So that is adjudication. Adjudication is a process where the demand, the order is there, so the reply is there, but subsequently again the further documents can be submitted, further submission can be submitted. So where there is a short paid, not paid, erroneously refunded. I am giving a very practical example. One case, a demand was there. Let you take 100 was there. I am not talking about the party name. I am not talking about the demand amount. A 100 rupees demand was there. The 96 has been dropped by the adjudicating authority on basis of the documents, and 4 rupees, so 4 rupees, 4 rupees only, it was not dropped. So the taxpayer went to the appeal, and at the same time department also gone for the appeal 96. So both 96 is the department appeal against which 96 rupees demand he has gone, and 4 rupees demand the taxpayer gone. Both 100 again become 100 like original order. So the appellate authority on the basis of documents, it is a mismatch of ITC, it is a reversal of the ITC, it was a notification has come out to clarify that the product is covered under 5% category with the compensation says. Subsequently, so there many issues are there. You accepted a exemption which the department denied, but a commission appeal accepted it. So this may be the area. Let you take it. So in that case, now the demand become zero. So it may be possible also, provided you submit all the documents. So that is the very important point which you have to keep in mind. You can withdraw the appeal also, but if you withdraw, then you have to file the APL 01 if the assessee is withdrawing, and you have to file the APL 03 if the department is withdrawing. Sorry, yes, department is withdrawing. So in the withdraw, once you submitted the appeal, but you are withdrawing. Withdrawing means the permission has to be granted by the appellate authority. After the hearing, they will permit you to withdraw. Not that so much you will withdraw. So that is the procedure is there. Additional grounds of appeal you can submit. If you provide, you please prove yourself. You have to, the appellate authority has been satisfied that actually the because of some reason there is a omission of that ground from the grounds which is very relevant for taking a decision. Then in that case you can take the additional ground. Take one example I am giving. It is a case of reverse charge. Let you take the security personnel has been hired from the agency, and you know that in case of a company, if the security personnel has been hired and there is a reverse charge, so the company has to make the payment, and the GST has to be borne by the company, and the company after making the payment of a reverse charge will issue an invoice, generally raise an invoice, and on the basis of inward invoice he can take the ITC. So this is the generally provision applied. But in this particular case, the security agency, even if individual security agency has not has collected the tax and deposited the tax, which is appeared in the GST 2A. So since the security agency raised the outward invoice, the recipient company has not paid the GST under RCM. If you pay, it is double taxation. But department went in the audit and department issued the notice on the allegation that you are required to deduct the tax as per notification number 13 as per the section 9 subsection 4, because RCM is applicable to the services under section 9 subsection 4, and you have not paid the tax under RCM. The taxpayer argument is that it is payable under section 9 subsection 3. We read with notification number 13 by 2017 and subsequent amendments. But in the present case, the supplier already raised the outward invoice and taken the tax, deposited the tax, and that tax is appeared in the GST 2A. ITC we have availed. And second is finding that, so the party of the that if you will pay the amount under RCM, now the demand has been raised, it's a double taxation. On the same transaction, you should not do it. It is transaction based tax. So this was the argument. And later accordingly they have taken the ground in the appeal. But another point is there, That is provision. It is a revenue neutral. That ground they have not taken. Revenue neutral means the when the situation is revenue neutral, that means the government is not going to lose anything. They to take the taxpayer already paid. The sorry, that's the supplier already paid. Not paid, then the recipient has to pay. But in that case, government already collected the tax, paid the tax. Can the government only refund the money to the supplier if the recipient will pay the tax? No. So that is the revenue neutral, and there is a ample of decisions of the Supreme Courts are there that when the case is revenue neutral, there should not be any tax demand, there should not be any interest because interest is compensatory nature, there should not be any penalty. They to take the one ground revenue neutral he has not taken. So he can take the revenue ground now also before the commission appeal, that is the additional ground. So you can take the additional ground, you can delete the additional ground, and after that the commission appeal go for the passing the order, and the appellate authority shall, after making such further inquiry as may be necessary, pass the order as he think proper and just and proper, conferring the demand, modifying the demand, annulling the demand, or make a modification any of the orders as deemed fit or as you think it is proper. And after that, and he will not have the power to go for the remitting back, because he cannot do that. Remitting back means he cannot return back, or he cannot remand back it. And the order should be a speaking order. Speaking means whatever reply I submitted, it has to be discussed by the appellate authority if he is not accepting it. So many cases we found, again I am talking from the starting of the adjudicating authority or the assessing authority to the appellate authority, they are not passing a speaking order, but the speaking order is my right, and there should be a speaking order. The time limit should be adhered 1 year, but generally it is not happening. Communication should be made. The order which has been passed, it has to be communicated to the jurisdictional commissionerate and to the appellant also. And appeal, once appeal passed, it is binding to both the parties, and unless the any party went to the will go to the higher forum. So if it is going to the tribunal, then it is not be binding to the party who is going for the tribunal, but it is binding to the party if nobody is going to the tribunal or the higher forum. So that is the there, and which has to be kept in it. And you can also produce additional evidence. Particularly, I am talking first appellate case, additional evidence is acceptable. Actually, though there is a provision is there for both, same provision, Rule 112, but in tribunal case, the lot of issues are there. So additional evidence can be produced because of a certain reason. You have justify yourself that the adjudicating authority or as the appellate authority has refused to admit the additional evidence during the proceeding. That should be proved. Second, where the appellant was prevented by sufficient cause from producing the evidence which was called upon to produce by the adjudicating authority, as the case may be. Let 7 days time has been given. I wanted to give. Let you take my bank attachment is there. Let the other department has seized the documents. I am not in a position to. You have to see that if it is not possible to give, then in that case I am producing now. You have to accept it. Where the appellant was prevented by sufficient cause from producing before the adjudicating authority, as the case may be, the appellate authority may evidence which is relevant to the grounds of appeal. And where the adjudicating authority, as the case may be, the appellate authority has made the order appealed against without giving sufficient opportunity, then what will happen? If the lower person who has passed the order has not given sufficient opportunity, so that we could not produce it, now you can produce and it can be acceptable. So additional evidence is always acceptable, but many cases tribunal, in that case, ask you in the tribunal proceeding, I will tell you additional evidence you can produce, but you can also produce the affidavit by showing that because of this reason you could not in a position to produce. Now you are producing, so that can be possible also, because on basis of that additional evidence, the appellate authority can dispose of the case. No additional evidence shall be admitted unless the appellate authority or the appellate tribunal record in writing the reason of its admission. So if he, because but they will, under what circumstances they accepted it. the appellate authority or the appellate tribunal shall not take any additional evidence unless the adjudicating authority or officer authorized in this behalf by the said authority has been allowed a reasonable opportunity. So the when suppose I am the taxpayer, I am giving additional evidence, and that's the same should be support same should be acceptable to the opposite party because it has to be intimated that the additional evidence has been given. So usually what happens as a principle of natural justice, the opposite party also taken into account the submissions and give his findings also, reason or etc. can be given also. And the provisions of this rule shall not affect the power of the appellate authority. So appellate authority has a wide power actually. If we tomorrow we will discuss regarding the GSTAT is giving ample power to the appellate authority, particular tribunal, to accept the additional evidence, but on certain procedure. So that is there. And time period to file the appeal actually the time 3 months time period, so that will be only from the date of filing the appeal, sorry, uploading the appeal, or the date of receipt in case of physical mode. These are the sections already I mentioned, so this one I am not going to discuss because in the first table I have shown to you these three sides. The next one is very important. The next one is we have to go for the how to draft the statement of facts and grounds of appeal. These are background of the provisions, the key aspects, few key aspects I have discussed with you. The next one is when I am going for filing the appeal 01, and I will just before that if you, I can to for your better understanding, let us also I am giving a video clip, just it is only 5, 7, 8 minutes perhaps. Have a look how then we will discuss drafting of the your statement of facts, grounds of appeal, all these things we can discuss. Just for 1 minute I am changing the slide, and we can just hope. Meantime, I think meantime I can see if you have any question you raised, I can also take up it. Let you take if anybody has raised any question. Uh, I think good afternoon. I think nobody raised the question. Attendance purpose. Okay. Friends, you can ask the question. I can also learn from you. Few issues also you can. No audio, but audio is working properly. I think now it is okay. I think no question. No question has been asked. 156 attendance, but no question. Friends, made up your mind. We can discuss some questions also. Whatever possible, I will tell you. Just wait for some time. I am just opening the GSTN site. I am opening. I am just giving one body audio clip. Then we can go forward. Press up. Give me 3 minutes. Since I'm not getting, after some time I will just go through. Okay, let us complete this one. Then in the end I will just find out. Hello, hello. Is it audible? Hello.
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, okay, okay.
So you're audible, sir.
Yes. So now let us go for drafting. So usually what happens when I am going for filing the APL 01, so it has to be accompanied with the statement of facts, and then we have to grounds of appeal. That is the then along with that we have to go for the different additional evidence supporting based upon which the grounds has been taken. So now question is. Statement facts is the actual position. Very briefly, we will give the actual position and basis on which demand has been confirmed. That is the findings of the department. The department based taken certain presumption, assumption. So based upon which they have went for filing the and issuing the show-cause notice. Usually audit memo that has been incorporated, investigation report that has been incorporated, subsequently it is converted to the show cause notice. Then the show cause notice is again relied by the whatever document given, that is also acceptable to the adjudicating authority, and that's why they have raised it. So the chronologically you have to mention and very briefly. Then we have to go for the grounds, why we are objecting it, what is the grounds on which we are objecting. Now the question is, when the moment I will receive the order, the moment I receive the order along with the DRC 07, many cases just I wanted to remind you that the order is uploaded, but DRC 7 is not uploaded. So DRC 7 date will be taken for counting it. I found many cases. Today order has been let take one example. The 15th August, the DRC, sorry, the order has been uploaded, adjudicating order or the demand order has been uploaded, but in the 21st let you take DRC 07 is uploaded. So 30 days, sorry, 93 months time will be counted from the date on which DRC 07 is uploaded. Even if the order is communicated to you in the physical form, but DRC 07 is not there. So DRC 07 date is the important for you, and that will be taken. So once you receive the order, you have to read the order thoroughly, underline it, you can record the finding. So that means what is the allegation in the first, you replied it, whether they accepted the reply or not, and if not accepted, any counter allegation they made, and if he not made, so that I have to record it. So that is one. Analyze the relied upon documents which you have submitted in the so-called notice period. Usually I am just giving one example. Just let you take one case I came across. The demand was very huge demand, around 40 crores demand plus tax plus interest. The so-called notice was issued. First investigation has been taken place in 2021. The so-called notice has been issued in the 2022, and the so-called notice has not been adjudicated actually. Actually, 2022 so-called notice, the reply has been submitted. Everything has been submitted during the audit period. So so-called they have not completed it. So that means 2021 is the investigation. Subsequently, they have gone for the audit, and after audit, they all the reply has been submitted. So what we reply we submitted? We submitted the ledger copies. We submitted the financial statement. We submitted the details of the sample invoices. We submitted the work orders. The issue was the transportation charges paid by the supply by the supplier of service. Transportation charges taken by the supplier of service is subject to liable under, sorry, the recipient of service is liable to be under the RCM. So that means the taxpayer or the registered person receiving the services from different transporter or transport agencies. So now question is, what is the transportation? You know, there is a lot of issues are there. Particularly, I am talking about if the transportation will be covered under RCM, that is known as your goods transport agency services. If the transport of goods by road then it will not cover under RCM. What is the difference? The difference is in case of good transport by road, no consignment note is issued. So consignment note is issued. It is a document by which the transporter undertaken the liability of a transportation. During the period of a transportation, any loss occurred, then the transporter is liable to bear the loss. So the consignment document have a detailed contents which generally is issued in compliance to the Contract Act. So even also service tax period, even also in our GST period, the RCM which is applicable to transport agency very clearly talks about that it should be a consignment note issued, then the transportation has been taken by the agency, then it will be covered under RCM, the recipient will pay the tax. But in this particular case, the transportation has been taken off and the service has been availed, but again the service is availed within the mining area, and again I am telling no consignment note is issued, and there is a provision, there is a exemption also at the serial number 18 of the notification number 2 by 2021. So RCC relied upon that. So the dispute arises, department of the opinion that it is covered under RCM. Since you have not paid the RCM, then you have to pay the GST. So the RCC of the opinion that this is not a transport agency service. This is a transport of goods by road because no consignment note is issued, and the transportation has been taken place only in the mining area to the railway stations. That is, the exemption is available at serial number 18 of the notification. So in support of that, they submitted the financial statements, the sample copies, work orders, and the transit pass was issued when the consignment note is not issued as per the requirement. So in a mining area, or you have to issue a transit pass. So everything has been submitted, and what happens? The show cause notice has been issued, and this document submitted to the adjudicating authority. The adjudicating authority confirmed the demand on the ground. Mark the word, on the ground, that the ledger copy has not been given, the financial statement has not been given, GSTR 99C has not been given. Let you take your 26A not given, because on that ground it could not, and the party also submitted a audited certificate where they bifurcated what is the transport agency service, what is the transport of goods by road, what is the other services, what is the loading or loading on which tax has been paid. Already it is appeared in the GST 2A. So everything has been given. Let 100 crores is the total turnover on which tax has been calculated. So out of that, the 30 crores already tax paid, and it appeared in the GST 2A. So everything has been given, and but still then it was recorded that the party could not produce, so it could not be, the corroborative document could not produce, so that's why demand is confirmed. So now question here is, you have to read it thoroughly, see it whether document has been given or not. So again I am telling one point, I am talking while I am analyzing it. If 2 3 documents we have not given, one of the document is 99C, but that is a circular has been notification, circular has been issued by the CBDT that department should not insist the documents which are available in the portal. So as per that notification, it is very clear that the circular, that means 9 and 9C, is a document which is available in the GST portal. And for you can also note, actually I was just dealing that is the instruction number 1 by 2023-24 GST, dated 30th March 2024. It has been issued. So when it has been issued, what instruction given? It is given by the CBIC, instruction given to the department that whenever any document which are available in the portal, that document should not be asked from the assessee, and on that ground you cannot confirm the demand. So you see, unless you know the notifications, unless you know the circulars related to the provisions on which demand is raised, then you may not in a position to take the ground. So my point here is, you read the entire order, note down it, and see what document you submitted, whether that has been taken care in the adjudication order or not, discussed or not. If not discussed, keep in the point, then you can go for the taking the grounds for the purpose. So that is very important. Compare the findings recorded of order vis-a-vis the allegation labeled in the show cause notice. Then you have to complete the control of the facts. So I should know. You tell your client to explain all the facts. I should be. Many cases we found the client is not disclosing. Client is not disclosing, or the client who is dealing, he is not having the aware of the many of the facts. But that facts they should know it. And the statement of facts ought to be framed with clarity, understand the business nature of activities carried out by the appellant, finalize the website. You can go see. Many cases we found when we asked to the party, what is this fact, these people could not explain. So honestly I'm telling, one of the case in the tribunal says that, and I was pleading for one of the PSU, and we succeeded in that case. Just I'm talking 4 5 months before, but many of the things I have taken from the website. So it was related to some of the amount collected on the specific act, and you remember any amount collected by PUC on a specific act, taking acting on an agent for the government, that is not subject to the service tax. That was the provision. So in that case, we have went to the website, we have gone what function they are doing, what is the whether these activities covered under that particular act or not. So that's why we are reading it. So you can go for make a personal interaction, go to the superior officers, the tax person of the company who is dealing. His superior can tell more than that. You can meet them, because when you are pleading, you should be, everything should be under your control. Mention brief about the appellant, nature of a business, events, what they are doing, and what is the fact related to which you are going for the appeal. And widest possible grounds should be taken, alternative grounds also taken. Let in this my example what I am telling, I was just taken many grounds. So one is, first is non-speaking order, because he has not categorically, whatever case laws we have given, judice additions we have given, they have not discussed at all, and only simply drafted, put it in the order, and passed the order, taken a decision. The document not given, that's why the order or the demand is confirmed. So it is non-speaking order. Whatever case law given, he has to counter it. Under these circumstances, we do not agree with these order, these decisions. So it was not there. So non-speaking order. The second one is, it is the RCM is not applicable, because there is a exemption is there. So you have to plead consignment note. Without consignment note, it cannot be GTA. GTA function is different. You know what is GTA function? You have to understand it. It is agency function. Agency function is related to the Contract Act. You refer to the Contract Act, particular section of the Contract Act. Say that the when the agency function is there, the liability lies with the transporter. Any loss has been occurred, it is the liability of the transporter. So once a consignment was issued, then liability will be there. But in this case, no consignment. So the owner is responsible. So the goods which I am transporting, I am not, transporter is not responsible. The person concerned is responsible. So that you have to refer to the Contract Act provision, then refer to the provisions of the section 9(3), where the RCM is applicable. Refer to the notification 33, refer to the decisions where the interpretation has been made. So everything has to be very, that ground also you can take. So you can take the ground that this is exempted under serial number 18, so it is not applicable. Third ground you can take, suppose I am paying the tax under RCM. So what will happen? It is available to me for ITC. Let you take a, let I am paying 10 lakhs rupees under RCM. So if I am paying, then I have to raise one inward invoice. So when I raise the inward invoice, then the GST, whatever I paid it, it is available to me as ITC. So that means in this case, government is not going to gain, because suppose I will pay under RCC, but same amount is available to me as sorry, the amount which I am going to pay under RCM to the government, the same amount is available to me for the RCM, for the ITC. So in this case, tax paid and ITC availed is equal. So government is not going to gain. So you can take it is a revenue neutral. So in revenue neutral, government should not ask for. Then fourth ground you can take that all the documents you have submitted. Actually, this revenue neutral is the alternative ground. Prior to that, another ground you can take, that you submitted all the documents which is taken 99C etc. whatever documents that is the as per instruction in the instruction or circular issued by the department is binding to the department officers. It may not be binding to me, but if I am benefited I can accept, if not benefited, so that you have to take into consideration and put your grounds. So that is very important, and more than one issue involved in the appeal, each issue you take a separate ground to start with a separate page, number it separately. So that is a very important point. Actually, if you see the GSTAT appeal rules, very clearly it is mentioned how to draft the grounds of appeal. Tomorrow we will discuss that. And avoid issuing long sentences, small sentence, actually long sentences, and don't write repetitive sentences, and because nobody is going to read. Many of the clients insist that you write more. Actually, I was appearing for one of the client, and his auditor was a chartered accountant, and he is very close to me also. And when I drafted statement of facts, grounds of appeal, he wanted to enlarge it. I told, what is the benefit you will get? The appellate authority do not have the time to read it. So that's why what generally we did, whatever grounds of appeal we submitted along with the statement of facts, in the personal hearing, we a synopsis we have given. Always we are giving a synopsis. Synopsis, if my grounds of appeal, statement of facts, grounds of appeal, there are 20 pages, and in the hearing date I am giving a synopsis of 2 pages. So synopsis is very important for us. So that's why grounds of appeal should not be enlarged, it should not be more. You cover everything but draft it very nicely with not repetitive sentences, small sentences, understandable, that it can be read by the concerned person who can take it and give it the decision. So that is the very important points which you have to keep. Then the grounds of appeal is covered under factual and merits. The factual fact, already I told you what is the factual fact and what is the merit. In the particular example I have given, factual fact is we submitted all the documents. Factual fact is the document which is not submitted is available to department. Department should not ask for. That is the factual fact. And what is the merit? The merit is already I told, no consignment note has been issued. You elaborately you can do that. No consignment note issued means you can go for it cannot be treated as agency service. You have to establish that supported with the decisions of different higher courts. And jurisdiction, first you see the person who has issued having jurisdiction or not, then you see whether the dean reference is there or not. I was talking about the dean reference, so dean is very important, and that should be incorporated. So now it has been clarified that if dean is not there, if the document reference number is there, then that can be sufficient for the acceptance. So dean is the dean incorporation. Any order will be issued, that's why department is creating a dean. So that is very important. This is the you see dean, the CBIC, ER, and MM. These are the actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So this should be there. These are the codes actually, and you should understand it. The 20-digit code is there. And the new circular which I was telling you, that is the circular 249 by 249 by 06 by 2020 dated 9th July 2025 to modify the original CGST circular 12241 by 2019 dated at. So that's why it allows tax officer not to quote DIN for such authorization summons, arrest memos, inspections notices, other letters issued during the course of inquiry where there is already bearing a reference number. Actually, DIN has to be generated in the office, but in the outside office, certain functions they have done. They cannot, but any notice will be issued without DIN is become null and void. So that's why the circular has been issued that a reference number is given. So once a reference number is generated, that is sufficient. So first, generally we also source that, because this is the ground on which your appeal will succeed. Forget about merit. Appeal is not always succeed in the merit. Many cases appeal is succeeded because of the procedure not followed by the department. So as an advocate, as a taxpayer, as a honestly I am telling, we always first verify whether the starting from the issue of the notices ending with the order issued, whether any lapses has been made and which is a gross lapses, and basis of which the department the order cannot stand. So that everybody has to go, and it is a experience actually. By reading you cannot do it. By reading many of the decisions, court cases, you can develop yourself and have an idea. Initially we face a lot of issues, even we have the corporate experience for long period, corporate experience, and with the dealing with the department or the appellate authority slightly may be different, but you have to gain it in the years. So that is important. Please work with notice consultation, and now it is not compulsory. Earlier it was there, that's why if not consulted, then DRC 01 and DRC 01A. So generally it has to be issued. Actually, before issue of the focus notice, I have to see that whether DRC 01A has been issued or not. Now DRC 01 is not made mandatory to, as I understand. Initially it was there, and this is already we covered. And these cases, mode of service we will see subsequently. Limitation period already, then we see whether the focus notice has been issued within the limitation period. And many cases we found actually the 3 years has been lapses, and department went on issuing the notice after 3 years under section 74. Let us take an example. Mismatch of ITC, never be section 74. Mismatch of ITC or the wrong availment of ITC. Wrong availment of ITC is not a wrong availment or the wrong utilization of ITC will not cover under 74. But many cases the department issued the notices under section 74 by covering it because it is already crossed 3 years. So you know that 3 years from the date of filing the annual return. So below just you one example, 1718, the annual return was filed on, actually the annual return earlier date November and December, that has been changed, but the actual date on which the, because that is the extended date. So in this case 31st January 2020, and 2020 means the order should be passed by 30th January 2025 under section 74. And if you talk about the 73, then it has to be passed by 3 years, means 31st January 2023. But if beyond 23, department also went on issuing section 74 of the mismatch. So that's why there is also many cases the direction has been given. Department cannot go for issue of the notice. So I have to see whether it is a proper period notice has been issued or not. And we succeeded in many of the service tax cases because of the time bar case. It is known as time bar case actually, because the notice is the background actually. This is the one cannot go beyond the notice. Notice is the initiation of the proceeding. So that's why we have to see it, the due date and the 5 years, and the notice to be issued 4 years 6 months. And here 73 also similarly 2 years 9 months, as I remember, and that will be taken. And 74 onwards, this year on next year onwards, it will be 74A. Both cases 5 years. So that you see. And time period to file starts from the, it is uploaded in the GSTN portal. This is one of the very important point. The show cause notice has been issued certain presumption or assumption or facts, and the adjudicating authority cannot go beyond that. If you go beyond that, even if merit is there, that will not stand. So that's why the order traveling beyond show cause notice. And friends, many of the Supreme Court judgments are there. I am pleading one of the case before the session in this ground. The show cause notice has been issued for a substantial amount, and 30% of the amount has been reduced in the adjudication. Maybe not 30, actually maybe around 45% it is reduced. And for the rest 55%, I went to the tribunal, and the appeal has been filed, which will be hard to take. But department also filed the appeal, the reduction of 45% by the adjudicating authority. And the very strange is the department went to the filing the appeal before the higher forum, which is on the ground which was not in the show cause notice. Friends, just you see, I am just referring to the Champadani Industries, very renowned case, Balarpur Industry, Supreme Court case, Sital International, that is also Supreme Court case, Syndicate Bank was a Commissioner of Central Excise, that is also Bangalore, start based upon the case, and another Samsung India, that is Allahabad. A few cases I have taken, one case is sufficient for you. So that's why these cases where it is held that the show cause notice based upon which it was issued, the demand has been issued, and that means the notice has been issued, then the audit conducted, let to take or the investigation conducted, then pre-consultation or DRC 01 has been issued, then the show cause has been issued, and show cause has been issued, and in this show cause they have taken certain presumption, assumption or grounds, but the adjudicating authority while conferring the demand has taken a different ground. He cannot do that. So that's why that even if merit is there, so that's why you have to always see whether they travel beyond or not. And these are the few more cases also, just to see. Just one case I am reading. The Apex Court held that a particular Balapur industry, it is tried that the foundation of a revenues case is laid in the show cause notice, and the same must be confined to the allegation therein. Similarly, where it was held that the adjudicating body did travel beyond the scope of the show cause notice was not legal, and thus the previous judgment with regard to the payment of service tax was dismissed. Simple, the court will dismiss it. So always you watch that, verify it, and compare it. So first is jurisdiction, second is your DIN or reference number, four is mode of service. The notice must be served to you, and if not served, the department has to give a proof. You can ask for the proof. Another point, just I am telling, many of the service tax cases we found department in during COVID period has issued the notices. Actually, first is let a genuinely taxpayer, I mean as a genuinely taxpayer we paid the taxes, but still then department issued the notices, and we found that the notices has not reached to the assessee. So the ex parte order has been passed, demand has been raised. The assessee came to know only when the bank attachment notice is coming, and what you have to do. So in that case, it is better to first get a confirmation that acknowledgement you received the notice, that should be a proof. People are also, honestly I'm telling, going for the RTI. They're asking, they're raising the question through RTI that please confirm which date notice has been served. Served means the assessee received it, and the acknowledgement, and that can be also taken one of the ground also many cases. So limitation period, pre-focus consultation, order traveling beyond. So these are the grounds you can take, verify it, then grounds you can take, and then you have to, because of time, just many important points I wanted to cover. Legal aspect also I have to see. Opportunity of being ahead is legal, whether given or not. Non-speaking order, submission of the appellant not considered, finding not recorded in the order, no detailed discussion in the case. So in that case, you can give, many cases are there. Opportunity not being heard means it can be remanded by the court. People are going to the high courts by way of writ because the opportunity is not granted. So ex parte order has been issued, huge demand has been raised. So case to case you can go for. These are the few cases I have given. You can go for where it was held that if the opportunity is not given, then it can, the principle of natural justice is violated. So definitely it will go, it can be remanded back, or it can be squashed also. That is there. Non-speaking order, many cases are there that you can see. Speaking orders reduce arbitrariness. A reasoned order speaks for itself. So that should be a reasoned order. And non-speaking order, many cases I have given. You just go through the cases where it has been held that the apex court, to take a state of Punjab versus Bhag Singh. It may be any case, you see, principle of natural justice is very important. The apex court was considering a case where the high court had dismissed the appeal without giving any reasons. The court held that reasons introduce clarity in the order. On plainest consideration of justice, the High Court ought to have set forth its reasons, howsoever brief, in its order indicative of an application of mind, all the more when its order is amenable to further avenue for challenge. The absence of reasons has rendered the High Court order not sustainable. So whether the any court is giving order, High Court, Supreme Court will see it. If it is lower court, then High Court will see it. If a department, then the tribunal or appellate authority has to see it. So that should be a reasoned order, and that should be that is a speaking order. Non-speaking order is not sustainable in the law. Interpretation of law circular. I have given the interpretation of one circular, that is notification serial number 18 by 12 by 2000. I have just given another example. You can also see one of the cases, just I am telling, renting of a vehicle with operator, without operator. So if that is the case, then it is 18% is applicable. So first is and this renting of a vehicle and transportation vehicle, the two different things. Suppose I have 100 vehicles. I have given to you, you are a mining lease operator. Mining lease means the person who has been allotted with the mine and he is extracting the ores, maybe iron ore, maybe coal, etc. And they require the vehicle. These are very huge value of contracts. So later I have let out my tippers to the mining lease operator with the driver or without operator. We have given with the driver. Let to take. So now question is that is previously if it is a transportation or transport of vehicle, three possibility. If it is a transportation of goods, there may be a exemption applicable under section serial number 18 of notification 12 by 2018. If it is a no, it is a transport agency service, then RCM is applicable. Okay. If it is a transport of letting of a vehicle or renting of a vehicle with without operator, 18% is applicable. So what the department, one of the cases department raised the issue that this is a renting of vehicle with the operator, and that has been taken. So what happens? A clarification has been issued. A clarification has been given by the CBSE that which circumstances a vehicle owner, when renting the vehicle to the mining lease operator with the driver, will be treated as renting of a vehicle 18% is applicable. Which circumstances? So it is clarified where the vehicle is given to the mining lease operator, not others I am talking, my only mining lease operator. So, and in that case, the vehicle is under the control of the mining lease operator who schedules the transportation of the goods. Schedule what time the vehicle will be loaded, which place it will go, where it will drop, again when it will come, schedules and monitors. So in that case, it is 18%. So in the present case, what happens? The goods has been taken from the mining for the clients who are the manufacturers. They are not mining lease operators. So if they are not mining lease operators, but how the renting of a vehicle clause is applicable, 18% is applicable. So that's why you have to make your analysis. What is the provision of law? What is the circular has been issued? What is the clarification has been issued? And accordingly, you prepare your case and accordingly go for preparing the grounds of appeal. So that's why in this case we have taken ground that it is not a case of renting of a vehicle because the vehicle is not rented by the mining lease operator. Vehicle is rented by the supplier of by the recipient who are the manufacturers. So they are engaged in the generation of power, they are engaged in the manufacturing of alumina, they are engaged in the manufacturing of steel. So they hired my vehicle and only it has gone to the mine, loaded the goods and transported. So either it will be treated as exemption under serial 80 as transportation goods by road, or if consignment note is issued, then it will be treated as your goods transport agency. So that's why you have to see, verify, and accordingly you have to apply and prepare it, see the grounds of appeal. So many things are there, which case to case basis one can go for to prepare it. And these are the example which is not it will be take some time. Computation aspect, another thing. Suppose you have not collected the tax. So you can take an alternative ground that assuming done but not admitting. Always the alternative ground which one will take, he always assuming but not admitting. So that you will say assuming that not admitting, assuming that tax is payable but not admitting, then it is a com duty. Suppose I am talking, let 100 crores is the transaction value, let its 18% is taxable. You have not collected 18%, then what will happen? It must be a com duty calculation. Com duty calculation was in the service tax. Com duty calculation is also under GST. Rule 35 perhaps just to check up it. So in that case, what I will tell 100 includes your 100 plus 18%. So that means it will be not 18%. So that means if I have not collected the tax, then it will be inbuilt in my transaction value. So my transaction value may be 82 or 81, 82 something. It will be 82 something plus 18% is equal to 100. So the tax cannot be calculated on 100. Rather, cash will be treated as if it is calculated. So this stand one can take as an alternative term. So non-speaking order, relevant provisions, interpretation, your own interpretation, procedural lapses, computation. And again, I'm telling procedural lapses cannot be taken. You have taken ITC you have held. It is a procedural lapses. So in that case, one cannot be penalized. So that you have to take into account. How to file appeal online? That is very important point which you have to keep in mind. How to file appeal online? Already I told you, you have to go for filing the Appeal 01. So this is the GSTN portal. In the GSTN portal, you will go to the services. Under services, you will go to my application. Those who are new, I think many of you may be having doing that. So for them, it is not new. So in that case, I will go to the my application. The moment I will go my application, then it will appear application type, form, due date. So in here, appeal to appellate authority, then the period I will give it. So in this case, actually it will not take more than 3 months. So if your DRC 07 is issued, let in the month of, this is the month of August, let it issue in the month of June, let you take it. So I will give it June to today date. So if that will be put here, then I will go for the new application. If you already you previously opened, half filled up, then you can go for such. Otherwise, you go for the new application. The moment you will go for the new application, so then you will go for the order type, order number. So order type, order number. So you will go to the category of dispute. So actually, this order number is the DRC 07. Actually, order type, which order, assessment order, or your refund order, whether your adjudication order or assessment order with the tax demand. So the list has been will show display it, and which you can go through and tick it. The moment you will tick it, then order number. This order number is the DRC 07 number. Then you search. Once you search, it will appear here. It will appear. This is the order date, order demand ID. Demand ID means DRC07 and date of communication. So from this date of communication, it will be counted 3 months. And suppose you have exceeded that, it will show you already you have exceeded. It will show you you have already exceeded. Okay, and 3 months, but still then it will allow you to file. So that's why Appeal 01 form is having a point that condonation of delay is there. And the category of the case under dispute. So what are the category of dispute and the period of a dispute? That is very important. Category of a dispute, you see these are the category you have tick. It may be multiple category. Let in my case, let there is a demand. So when demand, what do you have to do? First is not applicable. Second may not be applicable. Third, incorrect determination, it may not be applicable. Input tax, second may be applicable. Wrong applicability of notification. In the example which I was given, it is wrong application notification. You can put it. The moment you put, you add it. Actually, you see there is a add is there. Add means the first line will come. If you can go any more than one also, then no issue at all. You can go that second. You can go also determination tax paid, tax not paid, short paid. You can go it also because that is the case. Fraud and willful suppression. Let section 74 has been issued. So three things is there. You can write. Or the others case also you can write it. The moment you write it, it will go on adding it. It will show the adding. All the details will show which you ticked it. Then you have to go for the payment of a pre-deposit. So when you will go for payment of pre-deposit, then the moment you will go, there is no annexure is required. Actually, people are using the annexure, but there is no requirement of going for the annexure. If disputed amount, once you go and keep, you will put here disputed amount, you will click here payment details, then automatically the Appeal 01, this is the Appeal 01 and this is Appeal 01 annexure, but I don't require annexure. I require the entire details. Why I don't require? Because from the main, I will go on item 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, everything I will fill up. While you go for the annexure, there is no requirement at all. So that's why I am going for the disputed amount payment. Disputed amount payment, this window will open. So you just check, see it here, amount of dispute, okay, and it will not, you have to fill up, but automatically amount of demand created. So as per DRC 07, this amount will be reflected. Assume that this amount is reflected 33,944. It is reflected, and here you have to fill up the previous one. You have to fill up. If you fill up here, amount of dispute 30, that means 4,000 something you admitted, and 30 will continue as a disputed demand. If you put it 100% as your amount to disputed, let 30,000, then what will happen? Sorry, here it is given 30,000. So actually practically demand is 33,944. That is the amount of demand created. But here I have admitted, I have mentioned that 30,000 is the disputed demand. That means 3,499 I admitted. Here you see amount of demand admitted, this much admitted. So now what will happen, if you go for making the payment of a pre-deposit 10%, so you will deposit 3,944 plus 10% of 30,000, because dispute amount is 10% of 30,000. You see automatically it will be put here 3,944 and 3,000. Actually backside there is a rows are there, you can see the DRC01, you can find out. And now what happens, one of the very important point just I wanted to tell here, see which tax, actually you admitted which tax and demanded which tax. Demand is the IGST, okay, and here the admitted demand also IGST, pre-deposit also IGST. So that's why what happens, it will ask you if it is CGST, OGST or CGST, SGST or the compensation cess, then it will not ask you the next table. It will not ask you. Here, since it is IGST, it will ask you which state it belongs. And the reason, you know, if it is IGST, 50% will go to the state where it is consumed. And we found in many cases, many orders does not speak about the IGST demand related to which state. Actually, as per the demand order, they should specify. They should specify. Many states doing that, and many cases the people are the proper officer is doing. So in this case, they have not mentioned. If they mention, suppose they mention it belongs to Delhi, then you have to mention Delhi. But it not mention, then where you have to put to. So that is the difficulty I am talking. One difficulty is simple the order has been raised. Let CGST 5 lakhs, OGST or the state GST 5 lakhs, IGST 20 lakhs. Let this order has been issued. But 20 lakhs belongs to which state? If you have let if that is there, 20 lakhs is equal to 5 lakhs belongs to Andhra, 7 lakhs belongs to your Maharashtra, 7, 5, 12, 8 lakhs belongs to let Tamil Nadu. Then what will happen? While you are going for, you have to fill up place of supply, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Andhra, and bifurcate the figures. So 10% and admitted tax proportionately you have to show. So that when this amount will be deposited, it will go to the state. But sometimes we are not finding. Then what do you have to do? Now we are putting the same state where it is situated. Let the state will get the money. So this is the one of the defects still continuing, because we discuss with the tax authorities also. And after that what will happen? Then I have to upload the I have to go for making the payment. Sorry, actually payment is not shown here, but actually I have to go for making the payment. This amount I have to go for the making the payment. So if you go to the payment, which you can pay from your cash ledger, you can pay from the credit ledger. So if you are paying from the cash ledger, then you can go for making the payment. One of the very important points just I wanted to tell you, suppose you decided to pay pre-deposit of 20 lakhs. 20 lakhs, let a huge demand, that is 20 lakhs, and this 20 lakhs belongs to 5 lakhs, 5 lakhs CGST, OGST or state GST, 10 lakhs is the IGST, and accordingly you deposited money. But wrongly what happens, 10 lakhs instead of depositing in the IGST account, you deposited in the CGST account, and state GST remain correct, and That means if over deposit in the CGST account, under deposit in IGST account, and while you are going to fill up the form item, this APL 01, and you found that cash payments has been disturbed, then what will you do? Now, friends, that is a PMT 09. You can fill up immediately. Within no seconds, the money will be transferred from your CGST account to your IGST in the cash ledger. So that is very conveniently it was developed subsequently for making. So you can utilize the cash ledger or you can utilize the credit ledger. And while you are utilizing the credit ledger, same principle will be followed. So what is the principle? Now CGST credit will be utilized for CGST credit. State GST credit will be utilized for state GST credit. IGST credit will be utilized for state GST credit or SGST or vice versa. So that's compensation will be against compensation. So the same principle will, but no state GST credit will be utilized for CGST or vice versa. So that is the has to be filled up. Then you have to submit the documents. Maximum 4 documents has to be submitted, 4 files having 5 MB. If it is more exceeding 5 MB, then you have to reduce, compress it. And already I told, if it is more voluminous, not possible, then you can go for making the physical copies. So that has to be seen, and accordingly you can go for. And then you have to go for the authentication. And here entering document, actually this document you have to mention the name. The moment will say to choose the file, where you kept the file. You kept the file in the desktop, or you file a drive, sorry, C drive or a D drive or E drive. Then in that case you have to go on adding. That's why the file, the file should be PDF or JPEG. So other than that it will not accept. Maximum file size to be 5 MB. Maximum 4 file supporting files to be given for the addition. So all the 4 5C will be given. And generally what happens, we 2 3 annexes we merged in one file and see that it will not exceed 5. And then you have to go for the declaration, and mostly you can go for the preview, see anything wrong, then you can go for the proceed to file. Okay. And the authorized signatory, if more than one, so you have to put one of the authorized signatory name, and then you go for the preview, and then you go for the proceeding for the filing. And if you go for filing, then what will happen? Now EBC can be utilized. So instead of DSE, you can also use electronic verification code to the authorized person's mobile, and accordingly you can go and file it. And a provisional acknowledgement will come. And this provisional acknowledgement, the day on which will come, within 7 days, you have to file the physical copy along with the provisional certificate, Appeal 01, and all the statement of facts, grounds of appeal, etc. you can go for. And again, in one point just I wanted to tell you why I told don't use the annexer, because one form you can use. Here, what statement facts, you write annexer A, grounds of appeal you write annexer B, and a prayer you give what do you want. You can give multiple prayers. The demand has been raised along with the interest and penalty is not payable in view of the grounds of appeal. So the demand may be dropped, or we can say the order may be squashed. Okay, or whatever ground it is there. That is, so that's why the form itself can be filed for the purpose. Then you and next one is how to file appeal, particularly advanced ruling. That is very important. Though I am telling, we are talking about first appellated authority, but the advanced ruling and appellated authority of advanced ruling are different, but still then it is covered under the appeal. And tribunal will be discussed tomorrow. So tribunal today we are not going to discuss. So now question is the question is if there is certain issue arises as regards the classification of goods, or the value rate applicability, or the liability, place of supply, time of supply, etc. Generally one is going for the advance ruling from the authority of advance ruling constituted under the GST law. And you know that one of the member is the state member, one of the member is the central member. So both the members are there. Then the authority, you will submit the application along with all the documents. So application for the advanced ruling will be submitted by the supplier only, not by the recipient, and the applicant has to submit in the prescribed form and the ARA 101. And generally what happens, AR001, and in that case what happens, he has to give the fact about the assessee or the registered person or the applicant. Then you have give the fact of the case, and then you have to ask what is the, you have to give his opinion according to the applicant. This should be treated like this. So you cannot simply throw. You have to, you yourself can tell, okay, under this will be covered under this classification, and this is the rate is applicable 12%. Let you take it. And if you are doing that, you should, you also refer to the case laws. You can refer to the notification, you refer to the provisions, etc., and substantiate your case. Then you ask the question, what exactly you want. Take one example. I am talking. You know that the transmission distribution company are exempted. Okay, and in many cases you might have seen the transmission distribution companies are receiving the funds from the consumer and going for the infrastructure for supplying the electricity to the consumers. That it happens actually as per the regulation, electricity regulation, regulatory authority. So there is all Electricity Act 2003. So the provisions contain that whenever any new service connection has to be given, the consumer may undertake the infrastructure, construct the infrastructure and hand over to the supplier of the electricity service, or the deposit the money with the supplier, and the money will be calculated as per the guideline given in the regulation, and go for the execution of the work. Let a substation and a 5 electric pole has to put up. So he deposited money with the electricity distribution company, and the electricity distribution company constructed and supplied. So now question is, once the infrastructure developed, it will be utilized for transmission distribution of electricity. So whether ITC will be available or not. So in that case, let you, somebody has gone for the your application for advanced ruling. So what they will write? They can mention their status. So they are an assessee engaged in these services. Second, they have to give they are doing this business. Third para, they have to give their service is exempted. Fourth para, they have to give they are receiving consumer advance, constructing the infrastructure, utilizing the transmission, and supplying the area. Now the question is, when they are supplying, the money is provided, so it will be treated as per the regulation, treated as distribution company asset, but it is a consumer asset. So now question is, it is available or not. So first question is, they can take it is not exempted. Second, they can take if exempted, ITC is available. Third, they can tell if ITC is available, can you reverse it is under rule 42, 43. That is, when it is constructed, it is taxable, it is ITC is available. But once you apply it for the exempted supply, then you have to reverse it. So subsequently revision. So you can ask three questions. So it depends upon what is your requirement of the client. So the advanced ruling will give you the rulings. If you are not satisfied with the rulings, then you will go to the Appellate Authority of Advanced Ruling. So for the Appellate Authority of Advanced Ruling, two grounds you can give. If you are not satisfied with the order of the Authority of Advanced Ruling, or sometimes the Authority of Advanced Ruling, two members differ with each other. So if you differ with each other, then in that case it will also refer to the Appellate of Advanced Ruling. And then Appellate Advanced Ruling will examine it, give its decision. Against that, you cannot go for the any appeal. Actually, there is no such provision that against the order of the Appellate Authority to go for the any writ to the High Court or any appeal to the High Court. But you can go for it if it is the only one ground you can go for, that is the Appellate Authority of Advanced Ruling has not given sufficient opportunity, or they have not conducted as the required under the provisions of law. So in that case, one can go for the purpose of appeal. Otherwise, the appeal is not sustainable. Friends, there are many cases are there which has to be taken off while you are drafting the appeal. Now, question is, can you utilize can you utilize artificial intelligence technologies in the system as a taxpayer, and can you utilize it? That is the issue. Everybody's mind it is coming, and just a point I am talking to you. You might have seen income tax as well as the GST. GST is 8 years old. Income tax is very long, and you might have seen in the digitization is made in the both the tax system, and all the data are available in the digitized form, and when huge data are coming in the digitized form, immediately that data has been real time basis, has been examined, scrutinized, segregated, requirement as per requirement, the action has been taken. I am giving one example to you. You might have seen many states are utilizing, center I don't have an idea, many states are utilizing softwares, technology softwares, and the moment you file the return, immediately if there is a discrepancy, notice will come. I am giving one example. One of the assessee purchased certain goods from a supplier in the month of March. The supplier supplied the goods in the month of March, filed the G-star 1, and the goods are in the transit. And the G-star once they filed, so it is auto-populated in the G-star 2A, and accordingly G-star 2B of the supplier in which month? In the month of April. Let you take the tax amount is around 70 lakhs. One case I am just telling you, 70 lakhs. So that means it is a genuine supply. Tax invoice has been raised in the month of March. The goods has been supplied. The supplier filed the return G-star 1, paid the taxes G-star 3B, filing G-star 3B, and since the return 1 has been filed, it is appeared in the April month G-star 2A as availability of ITC. But the recipient has received the goods in the month of April, accounted in the books of accounts in the month of April and may not be one invoice, maybe number of invoices, May, and the moment the letter it is accepted, the let they received in the month of April. So in the month of April they accounted, and ITC availed. And you know the when the ITC availed, but in the G-star ITC, G-star 2A and 2B are maintained year wise. There is no opening balance. This is the actually defect, we can say deficiency. And the party immediately availed 64 lakhs ITC, 70 lakhs ITC in the month of April, file the return. You cannot imagine the moment he filed the return, within 1 minute, one less than that, a discrepancy notice has come out. This is the discrepancy of ITC availed, which is it not appearing in the register to be, and you are required to make the payment. So payment immediately showing payment. So then what you have to do? You have to give a reply. What reply you have to give? You have to give the reply the practical fact, what is the transaction. The ITC which is available in the G-star 2A of the last year in the month of March is available now. So there is no discrepancy because there is no provision of carry forward. So you have to understand, actually, honestly I am talking, you have to understand this is the software used to. And so if the software, the technology software has been used and chat GPT, etc., whatever, because I am not a technical person, some few my experience I will also share. So in that case, it is your responsibility to accordingly act fast and reply it. So government, you might have seen income tax, your specific financial transactions. You do not know, but it is reported there. You purchase 30 lakhs property, and it is already reported immediately. You deposited cash, so immediately it is gone to the government, and the new income tax act also with that. So now what happens, since the department is using, and at the same time what happens, as a taxpayer, it is very much required that certain operations, certain activities you can go for. So now question here is, if we layman sense, if we talk about, many of you, I don't know to what extent you people are literate, to some extent also I literate, try to literate myself to cope with that, to try that. And it is a deployment of intellectual machines or computer programs that have some attributable, mother word, of human intelligence. Human is more intelligent, no doubt about it. and human can also do everything. He has a lot of core abilities: learning, reasoning, problem solving, language inbuilt in. So now this has been inbuilt in a machine, and machine is doing. So it is language processing, image recognition, problem solving, and learning from the data. So these are generally AI is doing, and as a human being we are doing, but we cannot do that faster for the department to do. So let take one example. Your client is engaging you for filing the return. They have around 5,000 invoices they are raising, but no software is used for the purpose. What you will do? The tools you will download in the invoicing system. Can you possible on the part to upload it, immediately write it or type it? So that means you have to adopt certain software and do it. So now question is, if that is so, then we have to also go for use of the artificial intelligence technique use. I am just giving sometimes the people will think that it will be artificial intelligence use can demand the human being, or it may create the employment, or the consultancy etc can be reduced. But to my understanding, that to take there are a lot of things can be taken by. First is the governance, automation in the tax compliances you can do also, accuracy, faster processing, responding without manual intervention, efficiency, these can be utilized by the taxpayer. And a few examples I am talking what the as a tax consultant or taxpayer what you can do also. Just I am giving few cases. Just you come to the left side of the slide. If a summarize of tax law sections, actually I am searching. I have four grounds. I have a huge documents. Let I am searching which case law is there where it is appropriate for my ground. Let to take it. So in that case, what will happen? You can use the artificial intelligence, and there you can give instruction. A summarization of each case law can come out. And the second, legal research you can make. As such Google we are doing, the difference is Google is related to the existing which are available, but artificial intelligence is not existing available. They can utilize that data to make available in the form which you required. So that is the difference. Summarize the case laws, drafting response to the notices. Actually honestly I'm telling, everybody is having the mobile, and in the WhatsApp just you open, you will find there is a meta AI. Just you will find, you ask the question there, you write. Let honestly I'm sharing one of the experience. I was given one issue, and I told, can you can you find out the Supreme Court judgments in which, let you take a, once I have given a consignment note is not issued, so it will not cover under GTA service taxable under the provisions of Service Tax or Finance Act. Let you take, and you cannot imagine immediately 5-6 Supreme Court judgments has been come out. When a 5-6 come out, then no citation. Citation you know, because your case law is referred year, which magazine or which publication it published, and date of which volume and which page. So that's the reference because we refer it. So immediately I just mention there is no citation. Can you provide the citations? So they have provided the citation with the case laws. You can do also, now also you can do, you can find out. So then I asked, then I verified. Actually out of the four, two cases is correct, two cases are not correct. And each case when you ask the question, it will give a disclaimer. It will give a disclaimer that you may search, it is like this, a disclaimer is given by the Meta AI. So what I did, so immediately I just next question I asked, the these cases the citation is not correct. Then he referred me, it may not be correct, it might not be correct, but you may refer to this websites. So your taxman.com, like this, many 3-4 websites. So that means it does not mean that always it is correct. It may be incorrect also sometimes. But question here is, you come to the right one. When AI went wrong, then what will AI here to stay? Your AI technology plus law, it become efficiency. We need AI literacy, reliance automatic with ethics, and both together can work. So I can work, but so AI also doing your image searching, let to take. tomorrow we will discuss in the gist that just I am telling, you have to convert everything to the English language. This is there because any document, any evidence is available in any language. While you are submitting it before the appellate forum, particularly GSTAT, as per the GSTAT rule, I was reading yesterday or day before yesterday that you have to convert it to. So how to convert it? You are, it is in the Tamil, let you take it in Kannada, let you take it in Odia, let you take it in Bengali, let you take Gujarati. How to have to do that? So that means you have to utilize the AI technology documents, convert it. Can you do it? Can you type it? Can you convert it? It is not overnight, it's not possible. The contract documents are there. So it can be only possible because of the technology. So as a tax practitioner, I think we can try ourselves. I think institute perhaps conducting some programs perhaps, but if it can make you easy. But still again, let I am giving previously we are having a lot of books, ITR publications, different types of indirect tax publication. We are referring case laws. Anybody is referring to case laws? Simply we are going to the sites, different subscription sites, and downloading the case laws. Another important point, just I wanted to tell you, any case law you refer, because always you have to rely upon certain case laws. Without case law, if you go to the court, it's not possible. And while you are appearing for personal hearing, dress code etc tomorrow we will discuss. I am not discussing dress code, but anything you are going to submit, so a set of case laws you have to take, submit it before the appellate forum, and explain them in detail. That is very important requirement. But before submission you see that this is not override. So sometimes it can be override also. I was reading one newspaper, and in that newspaper, I perhaps a video clip or newspaper I was searching, and where it is explained that in a particular place in India, a three case laws has been taken from the adoption of AI, and decision has been given by the lower court. And when it has went to the higher court, means high court found that the three case laws are not in existence. It is also happening. So not that always correct. That's why what happens, you have to cross examine. Any case laws I have to give, I have to see that it is not overruled or it has not been. So many, let you take I am making a SCOS subscription, I am making a taxman subscription, I am making a tax scan subscription, I am making tax guru subscription, and people are making TMI subscription. So always sometimes when you open for the particular case law, and it is, if it is overrid, if it is against that department went to the Supreme Court, it is showing this case against who is the Supreme Court, the appeal has been filed before the Supreme Court, or this case has been overridden, this case has been decision has come against that also. They will refer it very clearly, so that when override the cases, decisions etc. So you can take it. And another point is you can keep it when I am referring to the decisions of the pre-GST period. It has to be acceptable to the assessing appellate authority. And in many cases, the adjudicating authority, when you submitted the case, simple they are writing, this case was submitted, these decisions are submitted by the notice, because adjudication case is notice, is related to the service tax, related to the VAT, is related to the pre-GST period, not applicable. That is not correct. So as per the provisions, the Supreme Court decision is applicable to all high courts. The high court decision applicable to lower court of the same state, but it can be referred by the other high court. That means it has a persuasive value. And many of the cases laws are there. If the decision of the high court or Supreme Court is based, or even tribunal, based upon the All India Act, Income Tax Act, Central Excise Act, sorry, Finance Act, 90, Finance Act 1994, then all Customs Act, let to take, so then that can be followed by others also. So that's why the principle based upon which decision taken, that has to be followed. Friends, just time give me 2-3 minutes. Actually, I have kept one video clip, very nice video clip, but I'm not getting, somewhere I kept in the, if possible, though time is there, but you can see it. It will give you a good feeling also. Just 1 minute. You can raise the question now. You can just note down the questions. I can take up it also. Give me 2 3 minutes. I'm searching. Meantime, you can also raise the questions. We can also discuss the questions. Friends, actually, I'm not getting. Tomorrow, I'll display that APL 01 how to fill up it. Very good, nice video actually. Kept somewhere not getting. But then let us see the any question you have raised. Just I'm going through it. Uh, so I think Binod Bhatt, he asked one question: if during a particular month, if there is a huge tax liability, can the same be paid in installment? No, no. Friends, just to remember what happens when the GST 1 you will file, and where the liability, outward liability is there, and it is again you are filing the GST 1A also. Any amendment has been taken place that can be filed after filing GST 1 by 10th by 20th, and before the 20th 3B you are going to file. So in that case the entire liability of there is no such installment is there. If you not pay, then the differential will show, and the immediately the scrutiny already I told you na, they are using the software, the discrepancy will come out. So you cannot pay. But if there is a demand of tax in the course of investigation, in the course of show cause notice, there is a demand of tax. So in that case, you can go for filing the. And you are not in in a position to make the payment. Then you can make the application by which installment can be allowed. That is a that is a provision. That's why I told. In that installment case, you cannot go for the appeal. How to raise an appeal? Please guide the practical process. Already I told you, raise an appeal means you have to file the appeal in the APL 01 form. APL 01 form is very clean form. It is not that much of complication is there. you can fill up the form. Already I have shown you the Appeal 01 how to fill up it there. Any one practical video is there that I will try to give in the tomorrow before starting the filing of appeal restart. I will display it. You can see it. But there is no such appeal 01 in the online. You have to go. The process already I have shown you, and there is a manual is available. Friends, just I am just touching it also. Let you take a see it also. There is a manuals are available also. Good service tax manual is available. Just I am attaching it. Wait 1 minute. You see, this is the GST portal. Okay. Here, the user manuals are also available. How do I file an appeal? You see, in this manual, the many cases are there. For an against assessment demand order, appeal 01. Let us take appeal 01. There's a user manual is there. Let us take a user manual. And this is the user manual. You can go for filing. This is the user manual. You can go. You see, here it is very clearly given. You have to open the services. Then you have to go my application. Then it will come in the my application. The moment you go here, lot of items are there. Already I told you many items are there. There is a demand order, there is non-demand order, there is a adjudicating order, there is a refund order, the registration. So in which case you are going? Let it. I am going to appeal to Appellate Authority. The date already I told you, not more than 3 months. You have to put the date by which period the demand notice has been issued. Then you have to go new application. The moment you have to go new application, it will ask you whether it is 1 year or multiple year. So if you still know it is 1 year, yes, then automatically the order type and it will show. Order type is the which type of order, demand order or which you have to select. The which type means it will show enforcement order, assessment order. Let a it is adjudication order. So I will write a adjudication order. So the moment I will adjudication order, the reference of adjudication order it will come. That means DS07 it will come. Then after that, this will come. You see, this is the this in this example they have given a registration. So it is has come a registration. If it will come DRC so demand order, then it will come demand order. But always remember the order reference number will be there. In case of demand order, DRC07 reference number is there. It is an enforcement order. It has given many cases. It is just showing. In this case, I think the demand order is the enforcement order, assessment order, registration order, all these order. Any order related you are going, that will show. And you have to tick that. That is, they are showing it, enforcement order. So after ticking off, then it will come here. It will show that you have to upload. You just see here. Here it is showing Appeal 01. Here it is showing the period, which period it belongs to. Actually, automatically it will come. And these are the items actually there. You have to go on adding. I was showing to you. These things I was showing. Only credit ledger I was not in a position to show. If you see it, you can also read it here. Here the Appeal 01 annexer. This is the entirely Appeal 01. Then you have to go for these are the documents. You have to save it, make it PDF. Actually, download it, make the PDF because that you have to upload here. Here you have to Appeal 01. You have to choose from the where you are keeping. You have kept in the annexer. This annexer you kept in the portal. So that's why you are bringing here. Actually, again I am telling, in the annexer 1, statement facts it is there and the grounds of appeal is there. If you are writing there itself, then it is number of pages. That's why you made it annexer. It is very easy. One appeal filing will take hardly 5-10 minutes, provided you keep the paper ready. The moment I upload it, it will show as annexer, template show. Then you go on adding 4 files, new files, any supporting files you have to. As already I told, statement facts we are filing separately, so you can upload statement facts here because everything you kept in the portal. Then you have to come to the your credit ledger, tax demand, that already I have shown you. So this actually you go through it, it will be giving a good picture. हाँ प्रज्ञा, हेलो। ठीक है, वन कंप्लीट हो गया। यू सी दिस, यू कैन सी हियर हाउ टू मेक द पेमेंट, एवरीथिंग इज मेंशन हियर, so you can go through it. These are there, but one video is there. I will show you that video tomorrow. I will show you the video. These are the documents you have to attach. So all the manuals are available actually. If you read it, you can also go for having more knowledge also. I think one video was there. Somehow I missed it. Just 1 minute, I will see if friends, just 1 minute. There is another point also there where you can also find out. Actually, a lot of things are there. You can go through it also. This video I will show you tomorrow beginning. Then I will go forward with the other videos. So we can close it. If you have any other question, just let you take. I can see it. Any question is there? Please provide instance demand may lapse. Please provide instance demand. Instance of demand may lapse. Actually, I could not understand this. Please, somebody has raised the question. Please provide instance of demand may lapse. Instance may lapse means demand cannot be lapsed. Any demand raised, it cannot be lapsed actually. PPT will be shared, Mr. Banerjee. Just I am giving my number. You just give a WhatsApp. I will share it. Asas the TRD will upload it. What will be the RCM when a passenger vehicle is rented with our without our will be taxed at which what happens again I'm telling the passenger vehicle will be always 18%. It is a first portion is it is a passenger vehicle, and the whether it is renting of a vehicle or actually RCM is applicable where the who depends upon the payment of the fuel. So that exactly you ask whether the fuel is paid, who is paying the fuel, whether the fuel is paid by the transporter, the own vehicle owner, or the fuel is paid by the recipient. How to search previously filed appeal and its current status? How you can find that from services you will go, and because this I cannot show you because I don't have any login actually. So this you can find this you can see from the services portal. So in the services portal, if you go, it will show the appeal. My application, it will show. Have you come across any dispute related to SEZ document? SEZ document exactly what? I'm giving a number. You can talk to me exactly what we can one to one we can discuss. Then no issue at all. SEZ, what is the issue actually? SEZ, because today time is there, he is telling that 5:40 it will be closed, but SEZ, if you can, I am just giving my number. You can also talk to me. This is my number. Chart in chart I am giving. 94371 sorry 90060. This is my WhatsApp number. First one 933871543 Okay. Actually, how to see the appeal status of the appeal? You can see it, but I cannot show you because I cannot enter to anybody's login because I don't have any login ID and a password. So in the login ID, if you go to the user services, from there you can access it. There is no issue at all on that. Okay. Services, user services. Actually, user services only showing this much. But if you log on, then it will show your appeal application, the status of application. It will show. If you write application, existing application, then it will show you. Here it cannot show me because I don't have the user ID. Okay. Okay, we can close it. Tomorrow we can see, and that appeal one. If anybody can tell, we can stop it. Hello, Pragya,
Yes, sir.
we can. Acha, we can stop it. You are telling na? Only one
Yes,
video
yes, it
is
will be
there. One.
automatically stopped.
Okay.
It will be automatically be stopped, sir, by 5:45 as per the
Okay.
IT.
Oh, okay. Okay. So for just I wanted to tell you that for getting the existing appeal, you can see it. There is no issue at all. If you log on to your ID and go to the user services, it will show the application. Start. Then you go to the application, then it will show you. And the number you will click, it will show which document you have submitted. Everything will show it because we are downloading that document. The moment you are filing the APL 01 along with the copies of annexes, that means statement facts, grounds of appeal, along with all the annexes, everything is available there. And you can download. After filing, you can download. So it will be shown. But I cannot do it because I don't have any ID and I cannot utilize anybody's ID also. And filing of appeal only one video clip I will tomorrow I will show faster 10 minutes. Then we will proceed to the GSTAT. And GSTAT, there is a lot of procedure has been laid down in the GSTAT rules. So which generally followed in the process of filing of appeal as well as a process of hearing of the appeal also. That I can say. So thank you very much for your patient hearing. And we can meet tomorrow.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much,
Okay,
sir.
okay, okay.
Thank you, sir.